Come out of the world, oh my people, seek the truth, avoid the evil, learn Yahweh's ways, Torah Life Ministries.
Hello everybody, it's Paul Neese with Torah Life Ministries, and we're doing this week's Torah Parashah, and we're in Deuteronomy 32, 1 to 52. And we're going to look at several different things here this week, starting off with in 32, 2 it says, may the teaching of Yahweh fall like rain. And we know when it's raining, and it goes on to say, like rain on blades of grass. So we know when rain's falling, you can't escape rain. I mean, it's just all around you. And if you walk in the rain, you're going to get soaked. Well, we are to be soaked with His teachings, with His words. And they're supposed to stay on us just like rain stays on the grass. And it goes on to say here, in Deuteronomy 32:3, for I will proclaim the name of Yahweh. Come declare the greatness of our Creator, the rock. His word is perfect. So we are to be covered in His word that is perfect. And it's supposed to stay on us just like the rains will stay on the blades of grass. That's how it opens up this week. And it goes on to say many different things here this week. But this, in particularly about health and diet, is very interesting because it says about blessings and curses, and that's what we've been talking about in these Torah portions. And this week it says, Yahweh alone led His people. No alien God was with Him. He made them ride the heights of the earth. So Yahweh took them out of slavery. It was Yahweh alone and no one else. But it says they ate the produce of the fields. And everyone's always asking me is, what is the produce that Yahweh has given us? And it says right here, He had them suck the honey from the rocks. And it goes on to say the olives from the crags, curds from the cows, and the milk of the sheep. See, you know, anyone that says that the Bible supports a vegetarian diet, well, certainly not a vegan diet, as we can see right there. And then it goes on to say with the fat of lambs, and so on. So we see here, it says all these different things about what we should be eating. He provided them with those things. And that's what I tell people all the time when they say to me, well, they want to eat healthy, they just can't afford good food, or they don't have time to make good food, or they don't have the knowledge to know what good food is. And I say, if you cover yourself in Yahweh's word, and if you follow His instructions and guide, He will bless you and provide for you, just like He blessed them and provided for them here in this week's reading. It says, however, they rejected His word, and they grew fat and roused Him to jealousy. With other gods provoked Him. So they said, even though He's given us all this, we don't want to listen to Him. We're going to follow the other ways of the people and follow their gods. And we're going to eat as much as we want, not caring about our health. We'll get as fat as we can possibly be. And guess what? These aren't just the times during this scriptural reading here. These are the times of today. And that's what's happening today. And it says they sacrifice to demons, non-gods, and gods that they have never known. And that is exactly what's going on today, everybody. And if you're looking for good health, blessings in life, and just a peaceful life, and also a spiritual treasure waiting for you in heaven, it says in the scriptures how to get that. But it certainly warns us of the things we're doing that are going to lead us away from that. It says right here in Deuteronomy 32:17, they sacrifice to demons, non-gods, and gods that they have never known. And that's what people are doing today. They're bowing down to the idols of this world, and they're ignoring Yahweh's word. And actually worse, they're mocking His word, and they're saying that they know better. And that's why we have more money, science, knowledge of study of the topic of disease than ever before in the history of man. And we have more people suffering from disease. That's why we have more people that are out of work, more divorces than ever before, and all the other tragedies that are happening around the world today, because people have the attitude that they just had here. And you know, the scriptures tell us how to handle every situation in life. There's no situation in life that hasn't happened that we can't see the results, what they will be, and the outcomes. We either follow His words and we get the result, the blessings, or we disobey His words and we get the curse. It goes on here to say, and this is very powerful because I teach a lot about not just how we act, but how we look and how we carry ourselves and how modest we live and how modest we think. And it says here in Deuteronomy 32:21, they aroused my jealousy with a non-guard and provoked me with their vanities. And that's the problem we have today. People are just living in vanity. And you know, and it says, it goes on to say, I will arouse their jealousy with a non-people and provide them with a vile nation. You know, Yahweh is going to give us what we deserve one way or the other. So we might as well do our best to shower ourselves with His words so we get His blessings. It goes on to say in 32:23, I will heap disasters on them if they do not follow my words and continue to look at other gods and make idols out of the things of this world. He will heap disasters on us. And again, this is what's happening. And we look at it here. It goes on to say in Deuteronomy 32:32, their grapes are poisonous. Their wine is a snake poison. You see, people want to take what Yahweh gave them and change it. They want to take what He provided and they want to change it. And everything from the food we eat to the way we think to the way we live, that's the problem today. He's given us all these things, and you have families today that are being separated, divided, and crumbling, and our health is going away, and all these things because we're disobeying Yahweh. You look at this thing here of how many families are separated today because we're not being righteous to Yahweh's word and we're not following the instructions and guidelines He said. So many people today, they have no time for Yahweh. They're not making time for Yahweh and making time for His word. And it's just a disrespect to Him because they have time for every other abominable practice in today's world, but they don't have time for Him. And it's just crazy and backwards and not the way we should be thinking. But that's the problem we have today. That's the way people think. They don't want to give Him their time. It's not that they don't have the time, they just choose to spend it elsewhere. And that's why it says in Deuteronomy 32:23, He will heap disasters upon us. Basically, it says in Deuteronomy 32:35, their doom is rushing upon them. But it also says here in Deuteronomy 32:39 exactly who He is and what He does. It says, I wound and I heal. I wound and I heal. You know, the Bible is a book of opposites. You have blessing versus curses, good versus evil, and life versus death. Yahweh can do all things, and based on what you decide to do will be the result. He can heal your wounds or He can create them. You have the opportunity to choose. You know, in Matthew it says many are called but few are chosen, but in the Aramaic it says many are called but few choose. You have a choice. What are you going to decide to do? So these are just some of the important things we see here in this week's Torah scripture. And it's so important, and most people don't know that they need to shower themselves with Yahweh's word and read His words often on a daily basis to understand what His words are saying so they become second nature and we start living according to the instructions and the guidelines that He provided for us in His word. And I am telling you, ever since I started following the Torah, reading the weekly Torah Parashahs, and following on a regular basis, I have been blessed more than ever before in my life. And what are these blessings and how did I get them? Well, when I first read the scriptures, I read what Yeshua told us to do. And He set an example by teaching the people every single day in His synagogues, going around and spreading the good news, and He healed every village, every person, and every disease. And how did He do that? By reading and teaching the instructions of our Creator. And that's called the Torah. That's what He taught out of, and that's what I recommend everyone teach out of. But people today don't even know what that is. People today are running around and they're picking scriptures out that they like, and they're ignoring scriptures that they don't like, and it's just leading them astray, and you got the blind leading the blind. The first 5 books of the Torah, starting with Genesis, going through Numbers, Leviticus, Deuteronomy, and Exodus. These are the 5 books of Torah that Yahweh says is the instruction guide and is the foundation. And on top of that foundation we build with all the other books of Scripture. And then we confirm in Revelation what will happen if we follow His word. The great blessing that awaits us, or the great curse that will come upon us, and is rushing towards those times. Those times are coming upon us very shortly. You don't have much time to get right with His word, so you better start showering yourself now, so while there's still time left. Everybody, if you have any questions or comments, post them below these videos. And we have a lot more teachings coming up. I teach about health according to the scriptures, modesty according to the scriptures, anything according to the scriptures. My whole life and everything, I want it to be according to the scriptures, the words of our Creator Yahweh. So everybody, this is Paul Neeson with this week's Torah Parashah saying, have a great week, and we'll see you again next week. Shalom.
Come out of the world, oh my people, seek the truth, avoid the evil, learn Yahweh's ways.